Hi, this is Lori. This is Broccoloni with www.happynaturalhorse.com. We're speaking of horses with another edition of What Not to Feed Your Horse. We were at Timonium last time and I was not able to finish because everybody started moving in. But these are my horses. That's Dominic and that's Yuger. I call him Yugi. He's out of Secretariat. He acts like Secretariat. He's hungry right now. And that's my little pony behind them. Anyways, we're going to get right to the point. What not to feed. Okay, so we had some questions on bee pulp. So I went to Feed Your Horse Like a Horse and talked to Juliet Getty. She's a nutritionist with horses. But she did agree with me that bee pulp is not a complete feed and you must be balanced with the proper vitamin mineral supplement. It's very high in oxalates and it binds calcium. And it's not a good source of calcium because the calcium cannot be absorbed. So please read your labels. And what you'll see is you'll see really tight skin, a lot of water weight. They'll be really weak from behind. Now, if they're not, that's okay. That means you can feed bee pulp as long as your horse stays balanced. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to talk. We had a couple questions about brand, rice bran and rice bran oil. It's a heavily pesticided crop, and it's grown in old cotton fields. And it's very heavy in arsenic. So you might want to read your label. California rice doesn't contain arsenic, so just read your labels and look for where your source is coming from. Okay, moving on. We're going to talk about soy products. Okay, soy, what not to feed now, okay? What soy oil, soy protein, any kind of soy. Believe it or not, it has estrogen in it. So if you're wondering why your gelding and your mares are acting a little crazy, it's because they're having way too much estrogen put into their bodies. Also, soy also creates a red blood cell clump in the body. And then the cells are not able to absorb the calcium. Soy is also high in phytic acid, and this will block the absorption of important minerals. So it's and also soy is an enzyme inhibitor. Okay, so it will block major protein deficiencies in horses. It also has isoflavonoids, which everybody knows, and it depresses the thyroid function. Okay, so when it depresses the thyroid, you have to take a look at the insulin resistance because the thyroid is what regulates the insulin. And think about it, you know, for the last 5-10 years we've been seeing a lot of IR horses and Cushing's horses, which is a pituitary thyroid problem. Okay, so we didn't see this 10-15 years ago because they didn't add soy products to the commercial feeds. So again, not making anybody wrong, just look at your labels. Okay. So soy is used as a byproduct of the vegetable industry, and it's a place for them to dump waste. So we love our horses and we don't want to put waste in them, do we? Okay, now the next one is very highly controversial. And my veterinarian actually showed me this in old textbooks years ago. And he said flaxseed and linseed oil, which is made out of the same source, will actually kill a dog. So flax is grown in the northern climate, and when it freezes before harvest, it's got a very high level of arsenic in it. Linseed meal has been used in the cattle industry for a long time because it suppresses the thyroid, so the cattle will gain weight. And so now they put flaxseed in a lot of supplements. Okay, so then again, let's take a look at the insulin resistance, people. Okay. Now, your better source of omegas, chia seeds. Horses can digest seeds very well. They're grinders, remember? Okay, salt. Salt over the years has changed too. They put a lot of aluminum chloride in there to prevent the salt from bulking up and sticking together. So that will prevent the salt from attracting water because the body doesn't know what to do with it when it has the aluminum chloride in it. So anyways, it's not a good idea to feed white salt or salt blocks. Salt blocks also have glue in them, and that's how they're able to keep them together. So you want to make sure that the salt that you feed is Redmond's loose salt. It's the best salt on the market, and so is the Celtic loose salt. Now, A horse has a smooth tongue, okay? Horses have very smooth tongues. And if Dominic would come over here, he could show it to us. But go feel your horse's tongue. Give him a kiss. It's smooth. A cow, you know, a cow has a rough tongue. He can eat the salt off that mineral block, but a horse can't. And this will also cause TMJ. A lot of dental Appaloosas and really smart horses will bust up the block, and they will chew it to get the minerals they need out of it. Okay? So remember, horses have a smooth tongue, and cows have a rough tongue. Okay, now we're going to go to what else to leave. BHT and ethoxyquin. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of products that have ethoxyquin in it, and they don't have to list it, as long as, like, say if the ethoxyquin is in the molasses, okay, and that molasses comes from another source, that has to be listed, but it doesn't have to be listed in the feed tag. So just take and read your labels from there. Butylated BHT, ethoxyquin, is a regulated pesticide. It's a preservative for shelf life, and it's banned for human food. So why do we feed it to our horses? Okay, so the next thing you want to watch out for is your protein intake. The University of Kentucky feels that the diet high in protein and low in fiber can predispose horses to become ill. Among the disorders listed are Potomac horse fever, strangles, salmonella, ulcers, abortions, etc. They also, when you feed a high protein, you're going to see splints, spavins, and ringbone. In the kidneys and the bladder, it can form stones. Suppressing the magnesium and unusable calcium overload contributes to tight muscles and anxiety. The horses in Europe, they're always under a 10% protein diet. Even the European dressage people, when they come over here, their diet is below 10%. So you want to just take a look at your protein level and keep it under 10%. So alfalfa has been linked to OCD and bone problems, hypothyroidism, kidney problems, scratches, rain rot, and some alfalfa can contain up to 27% protein. So watch your protein level. Okay, now we're going to wrap it up. The last thing we're going to say not to feed is molasses. First, molasses will cause horses' adrenal glands to shut down. Big boo-boo. It will also cause gastric acids because the horses need to digest the molasses, and they can't because he can't produce the saliva to digest the molasses. So read your labels. Also, molasses carries antifreeze in it to keep it from forming into a glue. So thank you. Stay tuned. The next segment is going to be about parasites and worm control naturally. And here we go. Speaking of horses, Wayne, thank you very much. HappyNaturalHorse.com. Bye.